I want to ask actually, a bit off topic, but why was the Wukong prio so low in your guys' series? Do you not think Wukong is OP champ?
I mean, I think everyone thinks Wukong is OP champ.
Yeah.
But Linsas has been doing really well on Jarvan, so he just felt confident playing the Jarvan.
Yeah, fair enough.
In the second game. In the first game, I don't think... I mean, to be fair, I don't know. I usually don't pay that much attention to
I say one of those guys that just sleeps in the draft meeting and just chills.
I mean, we don't even have that many draft meetings. Coaches are behind our backs. We just come.
There's a lot of topic.
Yeah.
I'm putting a pin on that. There's a lot of topic that I'll talk about with your coaching staff maybe and investigate what the hell is going on with Vitality. What do we want to see here? As G2 is maybe on the side.
Honestly, pretty much anything from the Azir, the Wukong, it's kind of the choice you want to make right now, because game 1 fearless, they're just... I feel like most of the time both sides get a lot of the OP picks and are quite happy with the trades that they're making. I wouldn't really say that there's a correct thing that you do. Right now I'm looking at probably an Azir Wukong trade. There's probably...
I mean, Carzy should know about this. You guys gave an Exodia draft to KC in game 1. So how do you make sure, now that you lived it, that they don't... Yeah, there you go. History repeating itself in front of our eyes.
Now if you're Vitality, you give them Azir as well, right?
And Maokai, preferably.
So that's what BDS should not pick. Just don't pick them so that the blue side gets them all.
Exactly.
Hey, it worked for you guys. Game 2, it was... Yeah, see, it's happening.
Yeah, I mean...
There we go. Another blue side, three first picks. There we go. Here we go again.
Is that a flex Nautilus?
It is a flex Nautilus, I think.
Alright, we haven't seen it in jungle yet.
Speaking of Nautilus jungle,
it's a myth nowadays.
W or L?
I mean, I think it really depends. I think with Talia it can be good, probably. Yeah. Since it was already good from support.
Yeah.
So that would make a lot of sense. Otherwise, I don't see it work that well into like Trundle, yeah. Like he hooks pillar, gets one-shotted and...
Yeah.
I think it's just the threat as well. It's on red side. You can't ever hard commit. Well, now with the Trundle, you can hard commit to the Trundle because it's a universally good pick. But then this happens, where you just pick two. You just double counter pick the Nautilus. Well, maybe it screws up your team comp a little bit, but at the same time, it completely nullifies the Nautilus.
Now you go Rakan or something like that, no? Probably?
I mean, they have to go Rakan, but it's this
it's
disturbing
not
already.
Yeah, it's a bit of an outdraft already.
Yeah.
Do you think Broken Blade will bring out more pocket picks or go back to the Rex side, something like that?
Well, it's red side. I feel like he's back to this thing because when you think about Broken Blade, the more successful times, I guess, from his stints was when he was finding these niche counter picks to the meta picks, and now he found the Kled, which I guess is not really like a counter pick, but not a lot of people are playing it, even though I think it's quite a strong champion. And with the Rek'Sai as well, so I do feel like...
Did you think the Rek'Sai one is kind of a blind? Because when Rek'Sai tank top was popular, you just like pick it into whatever.
Yeah, but the thing with Rek'Sai, for example, was the fact that you could just like Q poke range champions and you would just do whatever. Now I feel like you're a little bit more restricted. So now on blue side, I do feel like he's going to be forced to interact a little bit more and pick up a blind pick here.
This LeBlanc ban is crazy, no?
It is a weird ban, yeah.
I'm a bit mind blown. I feel like I never see LeBlanc ever recently these days.
It might be one of those solo queue tracking things where you just, oh, let's do some scouting for the week. Oh, Caps has 50 games of LeBlanc. Oh, we have to ban it.
Yeah,
that's usually how paranoia happens in LEC draft meetings.
It's true.
I mean, it's 4 or 5. You're like, guys, what do you ban? And everyone's like, yeah, he played this in solo queue. We have to.
Well, what do you ban actually? There's 2 bans left here.
Ooh. Alright, ban here. Well, I'm realistically looking at blind mids or blind tops, I think. Well,
Orianna for me would be a good ban for BDS, maybe. Brings a lot of that.
Which one again?
For Jax. Orianna.
Orianna, yeah.
Ban. But Jax ban, actually.
I feel like if you ban Orianna, you're a little bit unproactive as hell, I feel like. Because you have the Braum Trundle, you don't really have any sort of setup. I feel like you're a little bit, just walking around.
Yeah, you do want some kind of setup for sure.
I do wonder what this Jax ban is for.
Carzy, what would you do?
I mean...
just pray and hope for the best.
I'm just praying that my coaches give me good champions.
Okay.
But you're feeling at the audition hard right now.
And that's a Nico. Nico has been a bit overpowered, I feel.
Yeah, Nico is OP.
Yeah.
This champion, diving with this champion is
goes
illegal.
with the cannon minion and everything, yeah, it's so OP. I mean, I think it's just Rakan, no? You go here and then you last pick top.
I think you have to keep the flex up, just so that Broken Blade doesn't get a good pick into you. It would make the most sense. Wukong, well, I guess BB will be getting... Well, I guess he has to Line pick. Wait, what am I saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
This was exactly what they had to do. I was completely bamboozled
Oh,
over here.
on the Draven, and then the Yunara goes
And
mid.
the Yunara goes mid? No way.
That would be great. But I think the BDS draft is low-key unplayable.
Yeah, why is that?
I think that
I see scaling.
Corki, Nautilus into Yunara, Braum, Trundle.
Okay, fair enough.
They have Trundle into Wukong, which is like quite good matchup for Trundle if you have winning lanes. Like should be really insane. And free, it's really easy to invade. Like if G2 are known for playing aggressive in the early, I think they're gonna invade BDS all the time.
I see Cassante, I press F in chat.
Champions way too OP.
For real.
But Finn thought this champ was completely useless.
And that's why Finn is an analyst now.
Yeah.
Well, Odo is too. We need to see a battle of 1v1.
I was losing a lot of that, but Ambessa last pick, it does bring a little bit of firepower, but I do agree with the sentiment that Karzi had, where I feel like BDS's draft is a little bit... It's again one of those things where you have a lot of power picks. You have the Azir, you have the Wukong, you're like, hey, life is good, life is great, but at the same time, you have the 3 big boys on the side of G2, where I feel like... Ooh,
I mean, you're drafting full all-in into Braum, Trundle.
Yeah.
It's rough. They have a lot of good disengage and a lot of just good tools for peeling you down.
Parzi, what is the best hope, the best champion that can save this Forsaken draft on the side
The
of
best champion in BDS?
Yeah.
I think...
What are the hopes here?
I think Ambessa or Azir.
Okay.
Like the solo laners have to do well in this one.
Bot lane is weak.
Bot lane will be even probably early, unless they... I mean, they should really play for invades, but there is no way Corki Nautilus can win into Yunara Braum. Champs are just too overpowered together.
Quote them on that if they win.
We're gonna keep this one, in the bank and see what happens here. A huge challenge ahead for BDS in this best of 3 series against the Godfather. I love the signs that we have today, fans. Honestly, great job on all of you. Let's see if BDS can do as good as a job on the Rift. Let's send it back to the casters. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Laure. I'm a big sign enjoyer too. Twisted Tree Line person, I respect you. You were playing Taric Master Yi before the boosters were doing it. That's the OG right there. Here we are in this game. Now, admittedly, this is pretty high stakes for BDS, but on the opposite side for G2, the stakes are there, but it does feel like we may be just witnessing a massive victory lap across the rest of their group as they did dismantle Fnatic yesterday.
They're yet to drop a game so far here in Summer. After their return from MSI and EWC, it does feel like that they're on form. The consensus from what we've been hearing from the other teams is that G2 is the team to beat right now, but we've seen one upset today already. We'll see what BDS has prepared for us, because they find themselves 1-1 in the standings, and admittedly, a lot of question marks around their performance so far this split. A difficult start against SK, like that was not a one-sided series.
Again, if you just look at the result, you feel okay.
Yeah.
As expected. And then you rewatch the games and you go, oh no.
Many question marks.
Many question marks. It's sometimes you're the better team on the day. Sometimes your opponent is the worst team on the day. And that was, your opponent was worse on the day. And for BDS now, again, you get a lot of time if you can just make the cross-group decider. Again, there's a break week, you get more time to prepare, adapt your strategies, and it hasn't been all, you know, doom and gloom. I think the top side of the map is something that is, as much as this matchup isn't interesting, Rooster, obviously, individually in the context of lane, has been performing fantastically.
I mean, Rooster individually has had strong performances, and I think that when we think of BDS across the ages, he as a player, that's the other top laner who also has had great performances, specifically yesterday.
Bring that one up in a second. That one, there you go.
There's the comparison. So you can see in terms of his stats performance and just his individual performance, Rooster has been playing very well in his isolated 1v1 matchup, and already in these 1v1 trades, he's been getting the better of Broken Blade, even if it's not amounting to a huge amount so far. But ultimately, he is kind of one of those players that we are keeping our eyes on. Odoamne talked a little bit about in the draft. It gives them a little bit more firepower. It gives you a little bit more skirmishing potential when looking to attack the side lanes, maybe. But Karzi was quite confident that BDS would have very few options playing this draft.
Yeah, he was not a fan. He had strong words, you know. That said with the man who just took down, or the confidence of the man who just took down KC,
That's
right?
true.
So it's I feel inclined to believe him, to be completely honest with you.
But a part of it was because exactly what we're seeing right now. In the bot lane, it's G2 that gets that push. On the top side of the map, the Rooster.
He's ducking, he's diving, he's dancing, he's up a pot. Oh, he's used the pot. He's up the health that the pot gives him.
But yes, as Kazi was highlighting, it's a very difficult matchup. Ooh, Ice is stuck around.
Good block coming in from Labrov. Parus just going to back up. The slow going down on top of Ice. He's forced to cleanse as well.
We are witnessing live exactly what Kazi meant.
Oh, and the laughing emote. Hans is such a nice guy, too. If he's PMing you, uh-oh. Ooh, ruh-roh. Oh, yeah, there it is. Thank you, production. Well timed. The BDS draft is low-key unplayable, said Karzi. Rooster, though, finding the situation low-key unplayable. He was on the cusp of perhaps a solo kill with the very least a burn flash. Instead, he's going to lose flash for himself. But Broken Blade's still struggling in that top lane matchup. Nuke going in. Caps looking for the solo kill. Caps still has flash.
It's a shield.
Extra movement speed. SkewMond on the way down. Flash out. Auto. Nuke. He's probably... No, he's not even going to die to SkewMond. SkewMond can't afford to chase because Boukada is there. Okay. Suddenly.
Nuke just solo kills the EU GOAT just like that. No hesitation. No remorse. Takes him out. And I mean, he's looking to try and prove Kazi wrong right now. Getting a fantastic play, but SkewMond making his way back towards the top side.
Rooster level 5. Broken Blade very low.
That's a big minion wave.
The TP.
He's out.
Okay.
He's flying the coop.
What? Bro, no.
I got a chuckle out of the audience on that one.
I think that was a groan, dude. No, bad.
It's a good expression. It's a great one.
Yeah, okay.
We'll get more. Don't worry.
Well, okay, all right. Well, for Rooster, I think he might have been able to dash his way out of there, but maybe he had no cooldowns. Ends up being, I think, in the end, the right choice. Rooster, in isolation, was doing great, but BB getting the extra support, resetting, going bottom lane with his TP means kind of a nice position for G2, right? They're first on the swap. BB's first to the bottom lane, gets much more out of that TP.
The game right now still finds itself relatively even. But the fact that, like, we gotta come back to this. Nuke just solo killed Caps, okay? Like, what happened?
Can we just
rewind?
Can we just get a zoom in on the Annie?
Because we didn't get a replay. Just
what happened,
we're going to remind the audience.
He can't answer me, but we just...
Because, you know, Caps comes back. He was having a straight... He was the highlight of MSI for G2, I would say.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
through their struggles, he was the man carrying them when the chips were down. EWC as well. I heard he had a fantastic performance against Poby yesterday. Poby's very consistent laning. It was being challenged by Caps.
Yeah.
He comes into game one, gets solo killed by an Azir, of all things. It does give BDS an avenue. Late game Azir is always a potential win condition, especially here in EU. We know how powerful this champion is, just because a lot of our teams end up devolving into big late game team fights.
Yeah.
Oh, there's this. We get the replay.
Is this the
So they're
replay?
both at about 50% HP, trading back and forth. And then Caps just goes to last hit some of the minions. He takes 2 autos from the Azir soldier. He realizes that, like, I've got a flash, saves it for the last minute. But the flash auto attack comes through. I mean, that's just a clean solo kill.
I mean,
for Nuke.
respect the Nuke. Caps overstaying a little bit, most certainly. Now that level 6 is here, though, I imagine the lane is going to get a lot less interactive. Although, with both of them still flashless, perhaps the roam from Labrov can make the difference.
Look at what Nuke is doing as well. He just puts the soldier up. Oh, he's going!
He's still committing. Parus is on the way, as is Boukada. Caps is in trouble one more time. He drops the bear down. It's going to enrage as he dies. One more auto coming through. The bear still hitting. Vengeance for Caps. Not today.
That's 2 kills now onto Caps. Nuke has become the very clear win condition for BDS as they find more and more advantages. This Azir is soaring, one could say, as he finds himself 2-0, 6 minutes in.
Wow. That is too many bird-related references in a single day.
We're going to get a replay. Let's break down exactly how this one happens. So the funny thing I noticed was Caps is about the same HP, and look at the positioning of the soldiers, chipping away at the HP. Nuke goes in knowing that Boukada and Parus are in the area. Even though the stun comes through from Caps, it's not enough to buy time. Labrov alone cannot keep him safe. And then they're able to secure the kill onto the Tibbers, allowing Nuke to walk away to safety.
And credit to Nuke, right? He might have gone down there and it still wouldn't have been the worst trade, but ultimately aware that BDS has the better positioning, has more members in the immediate vicinity. And of course, for Caps, that 0-2 start, definitely not ideal. Nuke going for some defensive itemization as well. Much more focused on just keeping that pressure up in lane, it seems, as that's done. A lot less effective now that there are Merc Treads there.
So, pros and cons of Merc Treads. Doesn't give you a lot of immediate power, so in terms of the trading, of course, and it can still find those nice little trades, but the extra magic resist does mitigate a lot of the burst, and you're now just less afraid of the stun because of that extra tenacity that you do get from the boots. Of course, when a support comes to your lane, Nuke is forced to play a little bit more defensively. He will be denied that cannon minion. It's a small advantage gained, and closing that gold gap just a little bit.
Yep. of course, Parus roaming mid as well as Labrov roaming mid did mean the top lane 1v1 was isolated, so it has been Hansama able to accrue a bit of a CS advantage, a bit of a gold advantage. That is kind of the consolation prize for G2, but again, it's a little bit rough. G2 obviously have been very committed over the course of the year to keeping caps on these more utility-focused champions. So the good news about that is that, look, even if you fall behind, you still have the power of the stun. The bad news is it's going to be tough to take down some of these tanky threats in a team fight, right? Boukada going to get a lot of armor passively, so it'd be really nice to have that additional magic damage as Labrov caught out here. No level 6 means you'll be able to walk away for now. Cap's very patient as the guns have been started, but they will reset. Bottom side of the map, Rooster doesn't quite have access to TP, neither does Broken Blade, but he's going to be the first one to move up. BDS now keeping the fight going. Labrov backing away, forced to flash back as Ice lays down another rocket. So no kill going to come through.
BDS with very clean control over the river. They just continue to contest the vision on the top side of mid lane, but it looks like G2 are not going to give this one without a fight. They secure one grub, SkewMond and Hansama make their way in, and the TP is committed by Labrov as well. I'm surprised BDS conceded that, but I guess they thought they already used enough. Also got to recognize Labrov level 6 to the level 5 of Parus. I recognize why they feel that they're not strong enough to take that fight, so they'll be happy with the single grub.
Yeah. Labrov gets that reset, has access to the TP, courtesy of Summoner Spellbook, so can be there. And 2 grubs really is the, the threshold that matters. 1 doesn't. It's a little, but doesn't mean too much. So good recovery from G2 despite the initial almost pick, that initial flash being burned by Labrov. Could have cost more. He's still not afraid to step up, and Han's getting scary, right? Blade of the Rune King going to be a big first item spike, something that's going to make that all-in threat much more real, as SkewMond might not even need to wait for that threat as he's coming in.
Ooh, that's a lot committed.
Oh.
I feel like that's not realistic in terms of a kill, so they're just really wanting to make sure that this base is delayed as possible. But notice on the bot side of the map, Boukada knows that he can now go towards the dragon. The base is going to be interrupted again. This is really good for G2 because now they can stack up a wave and threaten this to have flash burnt.
Parus, Ice has to retreat.
They're going to threaten the dive.
Parus is just the aftershock, right? It's not a whole lot to defend him. Ulti on the right target can make a big difference, but G2, the TP now coming in. That's the double knockup. Parus aftershock still proc, so he's feeling fine, but SkewMond's ulted in response, so they get the TP, and while they're not able to pull off the initial dive, they still grab a plate, and now it is Broken Blade on the bottom side, uncontested. Nuke's also just TPing to the mid lane, so he's going to have so much free time on that bot lane tower if he wants it.
I'm trying to think of like who really gained from that, because G2, yes, they got a plate on the top side of the map. They really delayed Ice and Parus. It opens up Broken Blade on the bottom side of the map to get a bunch of free farm. He pushed that wave underneath the tower. They really slowed BDS down, but the fact that BDS was able to get the dragon in exchange means that I don't think that it was really a bad trade for them. Parus losing his flash, obviously not ideal. I guess you could argue that the AD carry gap developed a little bit more because Ice was denied a decent amount of farm. Broken Blade now TPing.
Rooster. Not quite able to find the angle. Broken Blade looking for the setup, goes all out. Rooster flash out, flash follow. W3 does not quite connect. Pathmaker can't find the initial target. As Nuke getting very aggressive in the mid lane. Will get Caps' ult. For Broken Blade, that's the TP and the flash burn.
A dive top, are they?
I don't know if you can really go for the redive here. Hansama fully stacked, doing good damage. But again, Rooster relatively unfazed. First item there for Broken Blade. You can see, again, why they would want to go for that kind of aggressive play. It's a pretty big advantage, but
I mean, the downside is they've spent a lot of time on the top side of the map, and look at bot lane. Ice is just pushing. He is just pushing into the tower.
It's fine. Labrov is farming, bro. It's exactly what you want. Anyway, Boukada got out a bit here. Caps on the way in. Still has the bear beside him, and will just fall down, but Rooster going to look for the cleanup kill onto Broken Blade. Not quite able to get the fruit in time.
That's the feat of warfare in favor of BDS, though. Caps able to provide much-needed assistance. Broken Blade ends up trading his life for Boukada. But I still think this is just a net positive. BDS, look, getting the push in the mid lane. On the bot side of the map, you can see what was about a 300 gold difference between the two AD carries has been able to close once again. A lot of that largely just being the CS advantage that Hansama is sitting on. But Nuke, Boukada, like they're sitting with decent leads. And again, what we heard from Kazi in the draft discussion was that G2 should be the ones in control of the early laning phase. They should be using their prio to set up for invades, making it difficult for really BDS to net any advantages in the early game. But it is BDS with advantages in the early game.
And look, Rooster playing well, something we've seen consistently across both their series. Nuke finding the solo kills maybe a little bit less expected as Parus is now in trouble. Going to ult immediately, pillar behind him so he can't get the easy hook out. Well placed by SkewMond. Quick kill pickup on the bottom side.
That is a clutch punish from G2. They got Parus' flash on the top side of the map, and they layered their CC effectively to mean that Parus had very few options to get out of that situation. This is going to open up more plates for Hans Sama. And unfortunately for Ice, he's going to be denied another wave, so that AD carry gap is really starting
Ice has to be
build.
careful. Okay, Valk's out. That Yunara slow can be so nasty, especially with the Braum there, but did still have access to the Valk. And this is the awkward thing about the Corki, right, is it takes so long to get that Triforce completed. Such an expensive item, you stop for the tier on the way.
Yeah, I mean, that W is a 99% slow that decays over 1.5 seconds. If it catches you,
you're stuck in it.
Yeah,
That ability is,
right there.
is very nasty. Luckily, he's not an immobile AD carry. But Hans Sama only continuing to scale up. Nuke again, the scaling threat on the opposite side. The difference in gold, or the advantage in gold that they both have, is similar, but you can see Nuke very focused on keeping pressure in this lane. On the last play on the top side river, it was Caps moving up, Caps making sure they could get for the 1-for-1. Nuke, meanwhile, auto-attacking that tower. This man knows what he's about. He's getting plates, although unfortunately for him, they will fade away. So see,
Caps got to back away soon, surely.
Or not. Under the tower, Labrov chasing, lock into the Iron Solari.
My goodness, Caps really does love playing at the very limit, doesn't he?
The bear.
I mean, he was fully trusting LeBron there, right?
The servers, what are you doing? You guys, you're funny.
He's just chilling out.
Yeah.
Back to base he goes with Caps.
Okay, actually, wait, never mind. I'm going to save this for no, it's not a real question. It's actually the least real question I will have ever asked you. Okay. You will be wishing for a cast with
You've asked me many real questions before, so it's got to be high up on the list. I still remember the horse centaur discussion.
Yeah, that was rough, dude. That was, where is the heart? Doesn't make any sense. Here's the question.
Yeah.
Wait, double check before. Are there any objectives? Now gold's pretty close.
Yeah, Dragon in
30 seconds. All right, I'll wait then. We'll wait. The Drake setup does matter. G2 are first on the objective, but they don't really have great vision.
Oh, look at SkewMond. He's also on the top side of the map right now. Of course, BDS don't have full information as to where he is, but quite far away from the objective.
Yeah, the thing about this timing is that it's pretty easy to just grab the Herald in exchange. I don't know if G2 want to give up double Drakes, but it's...
Look, they're actually pinging, suggesting that he might be on the Herald, but of course they do have that small ward still on the objective. SkewMond has now made his way down. Parus hooks in.
Starts things off with Labrov. Ulti on the SkewMond, but there's not really any immediate follow-up. It seems like they're hoping for a pick, but that was a lot of cooldowns used for very little impact. Just ultis traded. Now Caps on the side. Poking on Nuke. Nuke wants to go in, knows that he's stronger. Caps now completely isolated. Wanted to get away with a little bit of poke, but it seems like it's going to cost him his life. Meanwhile, the rest of the team setting their sights on the Drake, but down goes Caps.
And Caps is just getting outperformed by Nuke here in game one. He found, that's his second solo kill of the game. He did get an assisted one during the laning phase, but 2-0-1 on the Azir. I say solo kill, Boukada actually end up cleaning that one up. But it's going to secure them the Drake, which is the part that matters. Again, we come back to this conversation earlier. Of course, we love holding people accountable.
That we do.
And Kazi himself said that BDS draft unplayable.
Okay. Yeah.
Unplayable. Right now, there are 2 dragons to 0. Nuke.
That's true.
The superstar right now of BDS.
To be fair, Kazi is a
position.
part of the Vitality lineup that gave KC their Game 1 composition. So perhaps...
That is true.
Mayhaps he does not have all the info.
Of course, this is all in jest. And of course, he's speaking from a perspective of where everything is equal, which makes sense.
Well, I mean, you can't really anticipate Caps dying 3 times at the start of the game.
Of course,
right?
he can't. Of course he can't.
But I will say the thing...
still poke fun at him for it, though.
No, absolutely. I will say the thing I like about this is Nuke, I was a little bit skeptical after the initial kills if he was going to be able to push this lead, right? Goes for the Merc Treads, as we highlighted, defensive option. But that last little play on a Caps is a good indicator that he has the level of, bloodthirst you want to see when someone on your team has a 1,000 gold lead.
Oh, yeah.
Not afraid to use those Mercs to just dive in face first.
I just love seeing Nuke have these pop-off performances, because we think back to even last year. Oh, the butt's wiggling. Ice is taunting Hans Sama. But when we think back to last year, Nuke was constantly contesting those top 3 mid spots, right, alongside BDS. And this year, I think we haven't seen that same level of impact. And so when he has moments like this, it's a nice reminder to show you that Nuke is still a top-tier mid in the league, as he's now the target for G2.
Stun goes down. Big damage. Nuke now trying to retreat as Boukada gets a little bit more space, but it's once again going to be Caps in trouble. They really don't have a good way to peel for this. The exhaust is there, but it does not matter. Naka finally coming through. Boukada healing up a little bit, but he has the Triforce. Now this under Sky. Dash back to the minion just in time. Nuke continuing auto. Ice has finally arrived. There's a TP on the way. Broken Blade coming. Hansama ready to go over the wall. Ready to transcend. This could be the angle. This man is going to start taking lives in a moment. Broken Blade trying to follow. Rooster on the backside demands Hans' attention, but it's Broken Blade going all out. The Cassante trying to make a difference. Hansama caught. The Rift Herald might have to just be the escape path. It's a bit of an awkward placement. SkewMond in trouble now too. He's going to try to drive to safety. He needs to get out of this one. The Herald, the perfect getaway vehicle, but it's a hot mess.
Chaos ensues in the bottom lane as BDS find themselves, I think it was 3 kills off the back of that. G2 are able to respond in kind as Broken Blade was able to get a little bit on the back. But what a crazy turn of events. G2 start off the play by setting up a trap onto Nuke, but Boukada is there in the river, ready to support him. Now, in the background, while Boukada is making this play happen alongside Parus, look at Nuke on the back, fighting for his life against Tibbers. He's desperately trying to survive, almost ends up losing his life to the Tibbers, but then Ice arrives, doing a ton of damage, getting the pick onto Labrov, then the ensuing TPs, and chaos ensues.
Yeah, again, looking at the backside of the fight, Rooster does miss the ult initially. You can see with so many blinking health bars, the angle for Hansama, he ults, he's got access to the dash, maybe he can get it in clean house, but he just can't afford to ignore Rooster, and fortunately neither can Caps, as the Herald will return. Oh, Rooster getting away from the Bear! Once again, the Bear on the chase. Bear versus members of BDS, the battle we've been waiting for, but once again, the Bear is not enough.
My goodness.
1-5!
What is going on? Caps is getting caught left, right, and center. The craziest thing about all of that, the Herald got value. It hit the bottom tower.
That is insane. The thing is, this is a pretty disastrous performance, right? It is hard, though, in his defense to play in a mobile champion on a side lane, and he is very close to killing people. If he had another 600 gold, maybe it'd be different. But he doesn't, and the man has to chill. There's just the gold lead in mid lane especially just continues to grow. But again, the fight's not free, and Hansama is just continuing to free farm, stacking up gold, getting closer to a second item. Maybe that can be the difference.
I mean, Nuke, he's picked up the Rylai's, he's bringing the chill to the Rift now. That constant slow that he's going to have.
That he is.
Going to make it that much harder to get away from him.
Okay, here's my question.
I love questions.
We have a minute till Drake, so maybe we have time.
Yeah.
So, when a person dresses up as an animal, we just call him like a furry or whatever, right?
Sure.
But that bear is wearing a little girl costume. So what do we call it when a bear dresses up as a little girl? Is that, what is that?
Isn't there, what did we call the wolf in Red Riding Hood? Because that's what the wolf did, dress up as the grandmother.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we called it a, I think we just said it what it was.
A wolf in sheep's
We need
clothing?
a term. That's all I'm asking. I think we need a term.
I think Parus might be dead.
Yep. Parus now running. Hook back to the wall with the smite and the jump. Gonna get the job done. See, whenever you need action, if you just start yapping about something obscure enough, they will fight.
They're like, none of that. Back into the fight. SkewMond's ulti doing a huge amount of work against Parus's resistances to help them find that pick. What's crazy is the gold difference is still only 500 gold. The fact that G2 is still keeping the gold relatively even when their mid laner is 1 and 5 right now. And it's because you can see Broken Blade, Hansama, and SkewMond still with those small gold advantages.
Caps, solo taking the tower there. Broken Blade doing his best to solo hold. SkewMond's just going to grab this Drake. BDS have come out on top in a lot of these skirmishes, no doubt. But when it comes to map play, G2 are still maneuvering damn well. You highlighted, right? The gold essentially even. Nuke's going to get a bit more money in his back pocket, but I do get nervous against the Annie team when you've got so much gold on a single player, right? Because that's what the Annie team wants, to delete one person, and right now that person's name is Nuke.
Yeah, because if you take him out, that's a lot of the gold gone. Now, admittedly, Ice, 2 items completed. There's Corki, definitely not a slouch. And Rooster, we've already seen what he's capable of in the team fights. We know in the 1v1, he can take out Caps. The Annie, not a problem for him. How will he be able to navigate the 5v5s as we get closer and closer to that point? Of course, no neutrals on the map right now outside of the Artican. I don't expect that to be rushed. But to EU's credit, we have gotten better at using that as an objective to force fights and kind of progress the game even further.
I mean, it's not just for throwing games.
Because last split, it definitely was.
Yeah. I mean, credit. I think that we've gotten the fundamentals. It took 6 months, but we've learned.
It just felt that teams didn't really respect how much damage Arakan does. So
it's the resistance shred. It's so invisible how you don't think about it, and then the Corki Q suddenly does triple damage.
That's the thing. You don't think the Arakan's doing that much damage, but then a bit of poke comes through, and that's the damage that sticks, right?
Ansama, good sidestep on that rocket. Brokenblade body blocks the next. BDS trying to take control of mid lane. And again, this is kind of where we have our eyes on BDS when it comes to thinking about potential cross-group decider. Their early games, Rooster's been able to get leads. It's something that we've seen before, but the mid to late games have been messy, have looked a little bit uncoordinated, which again, they made roster changes. It makes sense why that would happen, but G2, a team with very strong fundamentals to fall back on, something that BDS are going to have to respect and probably outperform if they want to take this one, even with a big Azir gold lead.
It's a little awkward for BDS right now because there's an easy objective for them to play for. Meanwhile, G2 have a very clear top tower that should be an easy objective for them to secure. They continue to hold Prio in the mid lane while controlling the top side river. They'll send Broken Blade to go and catch that bot side, but they also have time to allow Broken Blade to hover around mid because that bot wave has no tower. So look at where the wave is right now. He could just choose to freeze here if he wants. He's not going to, but he had that option if he wanted to because there's not really much on the map that he needs to be worried about.
I thought you were going for an Iceborne Gauntlet pun. Even pushing is freezing.
No, that was definitely my intent.
Oh, okay,
really trying to stack up the puns in this game. I decided for some reason that I wanted to make Freak proud, and I don't know why.
I get it. He's got some of that father figure energy. I understand.
It also could be that Medic's not here, so someone's got to pick up the slack.
We gotta compensate. It's true.
Just really terrible jokes.
I was really excited because I looked down the items and I was like, you know, Caps has been close to one-shotting people. And now maybe he can do it with the Shadow Flame.
He can do it.
And then I saw the enhanced Merc Shreds for Nuke and went right back to, okay, probably not enough damage.
Well, he just needs a bit of assistance. It is a team game after all.
Annie is a math problem. You can't add any, you know, additional variables in. She either one-shots you or she doesn't. No one else is allowed to help, bro. Those are the rules.
I've been watching the Race to the World First that's been going on right now.
Yeah.
Absolute min-maxing required in order to take out some of those
100%.
bosses. Perhaps Caps has done the math. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll find out. He has both the Dark Seal and the Doran's Ring. Perhaps that is enough AP to one-shot. I will say, that Corki, the Corki, looking like prime real estate
for a one-shot.
You know what I mean?
He does have cleanse, but the cleanse don't stop the damage.
And he does love to burn stuff.
That is true. I like how they like retconned her story so it was tragic and she wasn't just a psychopath. It was quite
tragic, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's tragic.
Yeah, it's nice that they let her be a tragic character instead of just like a sociopath.
As opposed to Shaco, who still is very ambiguous.
Well, what does he want? Who knows?
Well, I know what I want.
For him to be deleted.
Yeah, I do that every game. He will not be in any of my games ever.
Yeah.
I hate that champ.
I mean, the boxes, I will never not be upset. I've been hit by them for
him.
12 years of my life.
Stabs you in the back. He goes invisible. He makes you scared unnecessarily with his stupid surprise boxes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Stupid. Anyway.
All right, speaking of making me scared, potentially unnecessary, Hansama very far up on that mid wave, but luckily Labrov is there to support him. BDS finally back on the map. So much topside vision control for G2. BDS, will see how they fight for this. The answer is they'll just fight. They're going to fist fight for it. Normally it's you push the wave and wait your turn, but they're keen to force a bit more control.
That tower is sure to fall. Ice. A single auto attack should do the trick. He might not even need it, but he's going to get it. Opening up the map a little bit more. They move into the top side river to clear out this vision that G2 has spent so much time investing. But the dragon, I feel, should be the priority soon. I guess BDS is concerned about the potential bounce start.
A clone from Boukada. G2 again taking their time.
Broken Blade already making his way up through the river, gets the push in the bot lane.
BDS need to respect this. Ice needs to be careful. He is in no man's land, completely caught out flashes, and just gets taken out! Absolute fumble! Wasn't ready for Broken Blade to be there!
BDS was getting pushed into the top side of their jungle. Ice did not realize that he was completely isolated, and now G2 have a Baron ready to secure.
Isolated indeed, Mr. Day. Well punned, well punned.
Thank
G2.
you, thank you.
Again, the goal difference essentially evened up. Now they have priority on the Adacon. This is going to be a massive swing, and this is the fear. When we see BDS play the early game, the lane, some of these picks, they can be good. But you have to be clutch across the entire game. Ice, a false sense of security.
I mean, just, yeah, look at the minimap right now. They're all on the top side. Broken Blade had already come up through the river, and a very quick collapse. Everyone in the perfect position from the side of G2 to secure that kill.
And it's doubly brutal because G2's composition doesn't really have those angles. It is really the random Trundle pillar shouldn't be enough to beat the Corki Valve. The K'Sante shouldn't be able to just walk into melee range, but it's a good angle, it's a good timing, and that's G2 a massive advantage. The good news for BDS though, third Drake, Soul Point, something to play for.
And here's the good news for BDS. They put themselves on Soul Point.
What?
Okay?
Just, you did the thing.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's great news. I'm reinforcing your point.
I thought you said
reinforcing. You think I would say the exact same thing, that I don't listen to you? That would never happen. I can't believe you would think that. No, I'm reinforcing this,
You're
Drakos.
very lucky Medic's not here. He would storm onto this desk and say this happens all the time.
No, that's false.
Okay.
Medic makes stuff up. He's not actually a doctor. That's
true. Not anymore, not legally. That's an important distinction. But you know what the good news for BDS is, Vedius?
Tell me.
They are on Soul Point.
They are on Soul Point. And that is great for them.
And Nuke still has a gold lead. It doesn't feel like it's mattered too much.
Ascended. Rabadon's death cap
He's
completed.
officially a wizard,
And
bro.
he is. Like, this Azir is the win condition for BDS. They need a good front-to-back team fight, and Parus might be looking for that fight right now.
Parus, initial hook going in. Rooster ready to get things kicked off. Backstep there. They need to keep their eye on Hansama and be careful. Broken Blade has isolated Parus. Ice still continuing to poke over the wall, and G2 hesitating for a moment. Cap's still on the bottom side of the map. Again, they have to be careful about what kind of fight they take. They get the heal out of Parus. They get the ulti. Didn't see if it was the Hex Flash or the real Flash, but BDS sinking a lot of cooldowns into that one. G2 didn't give up a single summoner spell.
Yeah, I mean, G2's comp is very good at reacting defensively. When you have the K'Sante, the Braum, oh, but BDS is going to force the issue. They know how strong Nuke is.
This is one of the power of the Azir, right? 3 items, you absolutely shred this objective. SkewMond does have Flash, can't get into the pit. Are they willing to risk the 50-50? What's the call? For now, continuing to DPS. It's a bit split. Broken Blade in the midst. Did use his ulti in the previous fight. Boukada starting to reach it. And it goes Caps! It doesn't matter! Kill him 5 times! Kill him 6 times! He's there right when you need him. BDS cut out of the pit. My God.
He just finds the angles. And that's why he's the GOAT. Put it in caps lock. Give us the slow-mo. They're clumped up on the left. The engage comes through. Just look at Cap zooming through. He sees it. He sees it. Flashes in. 3-man Tibbers. The combo comes down. Beautifully done. And Nuke just doesn't get to play the game. G2 with a one-sided team fight secures the power, and just like that takes full control over the game.
And again, that is the kind of pressure that a champion like Annie brings in the game. You have to respect the Flash ulti, the fact that it is Caps as well, and a Caps who essentially spent this entire early game feeding is just insult to injury for BDS. I don't really know what you can do to come back in this one because it's just getting harder and harder to find a fight where now can do anything.
He's now higher in level. He's got all of the gold back. He was 1.5k gold down. He's now ahead with the death cap of his own. Working towards the Void Staff.
There's Caps. Doesn't have Flash this time though. They've opted to leave Labrov, or have they? Caps looking for the setup. It's another bear. Dropped in face first. Broken Blade there with the footwork to keep him standing.
Labrov is just too tanky. G2 with the Baron, looking to continue their siege. I respect that BDS is willing to force things, that they are bringing the fight to G2, but when it comes down to the execution, they are just falling short.
TP coming in the bot side. Pressure up from G2, 5k lead. BDS had the advantage, right? They still have Soul Point, but Baron's another minute 30. That Drake's going to be up. I don't think they're going to be able to get it on this one, and it seems like G2 are in an excellent position to break the base. 2 lanes of pressure. Caps. I can't tell if oh no, the Bear's still alive. Hard to tell for me sometimes if that's ulti available with the Bear's still up. But the Bear's still up. Still annoying. And Rooster, I mean, all in on Broken Blade. Broken Blade, a bit of an overstep here, but Hansama waiting over the wall. Unstoppable, Labrov there as well. Uh-oh, Rooster realizing everyone's here now. Suddenly they're going all out. He's going to try to go back in, but it's just all of G2 waiting. A pillar to deny a potential kill.
It's just going to be a pick. G2 feel that they cannot stay any longer, but Broken Blade with the bait and switch brings Rooster in. He does not respect the possibility of the rest of G2 lying in wait. and they turn it around. Look at how the gold has ballooned. BDS were able to accrue, what, like a 1k gold lead? But the moment that G2 gets that Baron, they balloon it to 7k in their favor.
And a lot of times when we see a team at the top of the standings, or expected to be at the top of the standings, because G2 do still have to win these games, you expect it to be kind of a stomp, right? It wasn't necessarily a stomp early game, but G2 have outplayed on the map, have moved consistently better, and now we have the stare down.
And I mean,
an emperor of an entire empire versus little girl who killed her parents. Let's go. And it looks like Emperor is gonna win. No, there's a man there to protect him. Good job. Nuke trying to finish the kill. He gets it, but the bear will have its vengeance. Parus running. Wants to hook the wall. Oh, there's no way out. Oh, it's a catastrophe.
they take out Caps, but the cost was their carry. Nuke falls, he's going to be down for 40 seconds. And G2, while the Baron may have worn off, they have a wave on the bot side. They're looking to secure an inhibitor. They're looking to maybe even end the game. They have the numbers advantage. They have Hans Summer, full health.
Four items. Yep, we just kind of looked away and he suddenly had 4 items. That is the power of farming up on the side lane, scaling up to these late game situations. BDS still fighting, but they don't really have great wave clear without Nuke alive. Going from Boukada, access into the back line, but Hans Summer immediately backs up. So Braum there to cover him as well. Good damage onto Rooster, he just gets deleted. Parus finally back up, but might not matter. Hit him with the thumbs up, Alpaca. G2. This is the reason why when a team at the top of the standings plays a team, you know, with mixed expectations, it can be so hard to set good expectations, right? Carzy said it, compositionally BDS seemed out of luck. Then they found all those kills. Now G2 are about to find a lot of bodies, I imagine, as they full commit here. Labrov looking for the knockup, double flashes though. If BDS are safe, it'll be one body. It's Parus's. G2 keep the pressure up. But yeah, again, you get that lead, you still have to play clean. You have to take every advantage you can, but G2 just more decisive around that Baron, and that's where it all broke down.
I mean, I love the idea behind the Baron. You know that you've just hit a massive power spike with your Azir.
You're like,
use
please
the Baron,
come fight us.
And fight. Exactly.
He has so much money, we would like to use it.
Exactly, and then it's just that angle. You clump up a little too much. And this is the thing about Annie. Old school champion, works in a very linear way. As long as you drop your combo, your job's done. Anything after that is a bonus.
Yeah.
But your main responsibility, set up for your AD carry. And Caps did exactly that. Landed the Tibbers, set up for Hans Summer, who, you know, has kind of gone under the radar this game. 4-0-5 scoreline, is yet to die. I think he was deathless yesterday as well in the Fnatic series.
Shout out to production who have conveniently put us there. He has a 58 KDA.
58 KDA so far.
Because if he was deathless in the series yesterday.
No, he was.
Each member of G2 only had 1 death in the first series versus Team Heretics they played. So he's died once. He's died once.
All of Summer Split.
All of Summer. Now, to be fair, it's a pretty short split.
Admittedly, yes, it is.
And again, this is only the 3rd series, but that's...
But now we have a fun thing to track.
That we do.
Remember that G2 is looking to secure their 1st place spot. Win here will secure that.
That will. Again, owning the head-to-head against Fnatic, big to have. SkewMond continuing to chase down Boukada. Exhausted, 1 stack of the ult, already used the clone. Does just get killed. BDS getting run down. Rooster's TPing in. I think it might be a little bit too late. Now dashing backwards. Caps is coming in up behind them. A messy exchange as Rooster just going to continue to run, but Hans Summer's going to kill him. There's nowhere for him to go. Hans Summer unstoppable. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, the Annie has arrived. The Nautilus has been sent packing.
Been sent to the depths, one could say.
Yeah, man, you're just on it today. I respect that.
Let's see if ice will melt under the heat. Caps is fishing.
All right, calm down, man. It's not, come on. All right, Cap pushed back. That's a nice start, but he just paid with his life. All right, the bear going in. Ice holding on. Refuses to melt. Oh, I'm lying. Kantam is going to kill this guy for sure. They're going to full commit. Pillar? No. G2, it was a shaky start. It was a damn clean finish. Hans Summer holding on to that big KDA.